Perhaps we can begin with something very simple. What is your breath doing right now? You do not need to change it. You do not need to make it deeper or better. Just notice that it is there. The breath has been with you since the first moment of your life. It has stayed with you through joy and through pain, through moments of courage and moments of fear. Even when you forgot about it, it never forgot about you. It is here now, quietly moving in and out, like a gentle wave on a calm shore. If you like, you can allow your eyes to soften or close them if that feels safe. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Feel the weight of your body resting where you are sitting or lying down. There is nothing you have to achieve in this moment. You are not here to perform. You are simply here to meet yourself, just as you are, with one soft breath. Notice your next inhale. Feel where it begins. Maybe it starts in the nose, cool and light. Maybe you feel the chest lift or the belly rise a little. Follow it gently, like you would follow a dear friend walking ahead of you. And then, when the body is ready, allow the exhale to come. Let it leave the body slowly, like a long sigh of relief. There is no rush. There is no way to fail at this. You may be carrying many things in your mind and in your heart. Worries about the future, regrets about the past, thoughts about what you should be doing, who you should be, how far behind you feel. Without pushing anything away, notice how it all feels in the body. Is there tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach, a heaviness in the head or the back? Let your gentle awareness rest there, as if you place a warm hand on a tired shoulder. As you breathe out, you can quietly say inside yourself, "This is my out-breath." As you breathe in, you can say, "This is my in-breath." That is all. Simple noting, simple knowing. You are learning to be with yourself in a kind way. Each exhale can be like a soft whisper. I am here for you. With every breath out, you release just a little bit of tension, a little bit of struggle, a little bit of the story that you must be different to be worthy of love. You do not have to push away your thoughts. Thoughts will continue to appear. That is their nature. You may hear a voice saying, "This is pointless," or "I am not doing this right." When you notice this, smile very gently to yourself. You have already succeeded because you have seen the thought. The moment of noticing is a moment of waking up. It is like opening a window in a dark room and letting in a small beam of light. Allow your next exhale to be a homecoming. Breathing in, you arrive in this body, in this present moment. Breathing out, you let the body soften, and you arrive in yourself. You may say softly inside, breathing in, I arrive. Breathing out, I am home. There is no effort, only a light, kind attention. You may discover that peace is not somewhere far away. It is here, hidden under many layers of worry and noise, waiting for you to touch it with your breath. As you settle with your breathing, you might begin to sense a quiet space inside you. It is not dramatic, it is not loud. These small pauses are like stepping stones that guide you back to the present. They remind you gently, you are here, your breath is here, peace is here. In the evening, before you go to sleep, you might reflect on 1 or 2 moments in the day when you cared for yourself, even in a small way. These moments are seeds. They grow over time. If drinking tea or water is part of your day, you can use the first sip as a moment of mindfulness. Feel the cup in your hand. Feel the warmth. Taste the drink with full attention. Let the sip nourish not only your body, but also your spirit. You might also decide to take 3 mindful breaths each time you start your car or each time you wash your hands. These habits can slowly rewire your relationship with yourself, teaching you to return home again and again. Consistency is more important than intensity. It is better to take 1 mindful breath many times a day than to meditate intensely once and forget afterwards. The breath is always with you. It is the simplest doorway to self-compassion. When you breathe with awareness, you return to your true home, the home of presence. And from this home, you can live your day with more ease, more clarity, and more love. As you continue to walk this path of gentle awareness, you may notice that your relationship with life begins to soften. You become more patient with yourself, more patient with others. When frustration arises, you breathe. When confusion arises, you breathe. When joy arises, you breathe. The breath becomes the bridge that connects all moments, all emotions, all experiences. It shows you that you are capable of meeting life just as it is. And now, as we come to the last part of our time together, let us rest once more in the quiet space of the present moment. You do not need to do anything special. Just feel your breath moving in and out. Feel the weight of your body resting where it is. Feel the gentle aliveness in your hands, your feet, your face. Everything is already here. You may notice that the breath feels a little softer now, a little more familiar. It has become a friend, a companion that walks with you. It invites you to slow down, to look deeply, to care for yourself with the same tenderness you would offer to someone you love. If you listen closely, you may hear a quiet message rising from within. You are enough. You are worthy of your own kindness. Let your next inhale come naturally. Let your next exhale be long and smooth. In this one breath, you can let go of tension, of expectations, of self-judgment. You can return to the simple truth of being alive. Peace is not something you must reach. It is something you allow. It is already present within you, waiting for your gentle attention. Take one more breath with full awareness. Breathing in, you know you are alive. Breathing out, you offer love to your whole being. You may feel a sense of warmth in the chest, or a sense of ease in the shoulders, or a quiet softening in the face. These are signs of returning home. There is no need for many words now, only this simple understanding. Each moment is a chance to come back to yourself. Each breath is a doorway to peace. You can walk through this doorway anytime, anywhere. You carry it with you always. May you walk gently. May you breathe with ease. May you meet yourself with kindness again and again, and may each deep exhale lead you home. It is simple and still, like a small, calm pond at dawn. When the mind is busy, the surface of the pond is stirred by many winds. But even then, beneath the moving water, there is still depth. Your breath helps you remember this depth. It is an anchor, a simple way to return to the ground of your own being. Stay with your breathing for a few moments more. If you lose the breath, gently find it again. If your mind goes away, invite it back without blame. Each return is an act of love. Each soft exhale is a way of saying to yourself, you are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be as you are in this moment. In one deep exhale, you are learning to come home. Now, slowly, let us get to know this breath as more than a simple body function. Imagine it as a friend who has been walking beside you your whole life. This friend does not judge you. It does not leave when you make mistakes. It is there when you are angry, when you are sad, when you are tired, and when you are joyful. It is there when you feel lost. It is there when you feel safe. Quiet, steady, always offering you a way back to yourself. If it feels comfortable, place one hand on your belly and perhaps the other hand over your heart. Feel the rise and fall under your palm as you breathe. You might feel the warmth of your own body, the rhythm of life moving in you. You do not have to say anything out loud, but you might like to think, hello, my breath. Hello, my body. I am here with you now. This simple greeting is already a form of self-love. Notice the breath like you would notice a gentle river flowing through a valley. It does not force its way. It does not hurry. It simply moves in its own time, shaping the land quietly over years and years. The breath is like that river flowing through you, feeding every cell, washing through all the corners of your being. When you pay attention to it with kindness, you drink from that river, you receive its calm. Perhaps you can feel the subtle difference between the in-breath and the out-breath. The in-breath brings in new air, new life, new energy. The out-breath lets go of what the body no longer needs. In this way, the breath is always teaching you, receive, release, receive, release. As you inhale, you can silently say, breathing in, I receive this moment. As you exhale, breathing out, I let go of pressure and strain. Your mind may wander many times. It may go to plans, to memories, to worries about what other people think of you. This is not a problem. The wandering is not a failure. When you notice that the mind is somewhere else, just pause, smile softly, and return to the feeling of air moving in and out. This gentle return is like taking the hand of a child who got distracted and guiding them back to the path without scolding. You do the same with your own mind. In time, you may begin to feel that the breath is not separate from you. It is you. It is your life moving through your chest, your throat, your nose. Each breath is a small message. You are alive. You are still here. Even if you feel tired, even if you think you are broken, your breath keeps whispering, you are worth staying with. You are worth caring for. Let these messages sink in, not as ideas, but as sensations in the body. You do not need to perform self-love. You do not need special words or special rituals. Simply staying with one breath, then another with friendliness is enough. When you catch yourself being harsh, saying, I should be better at this, you can gently answer, my friend, there is no need to be perfect. Let us just be here together with this one breath. You become both the one who suffers and the one who offers comfort. As you continue, you might notice small shifts. The jaw loosens, the shoulders drop a little more. The space around the heart feels less tight. Or perhaps nothing seems to change, yet your choice to stay, to breathe, is itself the change. Please trust that every moment of true presence is a seed of healing. The breath is the soil that holds that seed, the water that feeds it, the sun that warms it. Now, while you rest with this friendly breath, let us turn very gently toward the places in you that hurt. Everyone carries some form of pain. This pain can be physical, like a tension in the back or a headache. It can be emotional, like sadness, fear, shame, or loneliness. Often we try not to look at these places. We distract ourselves. We run. We push the feelings away. But today, you are safe enough to simply notice. Take a moment to scan your body from head to toe. You do not need to be exact. Just move your awareness slowly, like a soft light traveling down. Notice any spot that feels tight, heavy, or uncomfortable. Maybe it is in your chest, maybe in your throat, maybe in the belly. When you find a place that seems to say, I am not at ease, pause there with your awareness. You have just found a piece of your mud. There is a simple image that may help. Without mud, there can be no lotus. The lotus is a beautiful flower that grows from thick wet mud. If you take away the mud, the lotus has nowhere to grow. In the same way, your pain, your struggles, your disappointments, and even your mistakes are the mud in your life. They are not pretty, and they may smell bad, but from them, something tender and beautiful can grow. You do not have to like your suffering. You do not have to want it, but you can begin to see that it has a role. It has brought you here to this moment of practice. It has made you ask important questions. How can I live in peace? How can I be kind to myself? How can I stop repeating old patterns? These questions are already lotus buds. They are signs that something inside you wants to grow toward the light. Bring your breath to the place in your body where the pain was strongest. As you breathe in, imagine that your in-breath is like a gentle hand reaching toward that pain. As you breathe out, Imagine the exhale wrapping softly around it, like a warm blanket. You can say quietly inside, breathing in, I know you are there, my pain. Breathing out, I hold you with kindness. Speak to your pain as if it were a small child who has been left alone in the dark for a long time. Sometimes, when you turn toward your suffering, it may feel stronger at first. This is normal. You are simply becoming more aware of what was already there. When this happens, stay with your breath. Remember the river. Each inhale and exhale is like water flowing around a stone. The stone may be hard and heavy, but the water is patient. Over time, the water smooths the edges. In the same way, your steady, kind breathing can soften the sharp edges of your hurt. You may also notice that around your pain there is resistance. Thoughts like, I do not want this, or this should not have happened to me. These thoughts are part of the mud too. You do not need to argue with them. Just see them, breathe with them, and let the breath move through. Breathing in, I see my resistance. Breathing out, I allow it to be here for now. When you stop fighting with your own mind, a little space opens. In that space, the lotus begins to rise. This lotus is your understanding. It is your compassion. When you truly see your own suffering, you no longer have to judge yourself so harshly. You realize, of course I am tired. Of course I feel scared. Of course I reacted that way. I have been carrying a lot. This kind of honest seeing is very gentle. It does not blame. It simply recognizes what is real. From this recognition comes a natural wish to take better care of yourself, not because you are weak, but because you are precious. When you understand your own mud, you are less likely to add more mud to your life. You may choose different actions, different words, different company. You may notice that the way you speak to yourself begins to change. The mud has become the food for a new way of being. Stay a little longer with your breath, your body, and your inner world. Feel again the rise and fall under your hand. Let the breath continue to be your gentle guide. You do not have to force healing. You do not have to rush change. Just by breathing with awareness, just by embracing why. Our own pain with kindness. You're already walking on the path of the lotus. The mud is here, yes, but the lotus is here too, waiting to open. As you breathe with your pain and recognize it as the mud from which your understanding can grow, you may also hear another presence inside you. It is a voice that speaks quickly and sharply. It says things like, you should be stronger, you always mess up, you are not enough. This voice may appear often, sometimes so often that you barely notice it. It is the inner critic, the one who has learned to speak to you without kindness. For a moment, see if you can gently notice this voice when it appears. You do not need to follow what it says. You do not need to agree or disagree. Just hear it, the way you might hear a sound in the distance. You may ask very softly, what are you trying to do, my little voice? Often you may discover that this critic is trying in a clumsy way to protect you. It thinks that if it is hard on you, you will not fail, or you will avoid being hurt by others. It does not realize how much pain it causes. Bring your awareness back to your breathing. Let one hand rest again on your chest or your belly if that feels right. As you breathe in, notice the firmness of your body, the warmth of your hand. As you breathe out, let your body soften. Now imagine that this inner critic is not an enemy, but a frightened child who learned to repeat harsh words it once heard from outside, maybe from parents, teachers, friends, or from a world that always asked for more. When you hear this voice saying, you are not good enough, see if you can pause. Take one slow in-breath. Feel it entering the nose, the chest, the belly. Then allow a long, gentle out-breath. During the out-breath, you can say quietly inside, I hear you. I know you are afraid. You do not need to argue with the critic. You only need to understand it. When you understand, it begins to soften. Notice how your body reacts when the critic speaks. Maybe your stomach tightens, your shoulders lift, your throat closes. Let your awareness rest kindly on those reactions. Breathing in, I feel this tightness. Breathing out, I give it space. Your awareness is like a warm sunlight touching a cold stone. It does not force the stone to melt. It just shines steadily, and in time, the ice begins to change. You can also look at the words the critic uses. Are they fair? Are they kind? Would you speak in that way to someone you love, to a child who is doing their best, to a friend who is tired? If the answer is no, then this is a sign. The voice is not truth, it is habit. It is an echo of old pain. You do not need to believe every echo you hear. You can listen and gently choose a different way of speaking to yourself. Try offering your heart a new sentence, something simple and honest. You might say inside, I am learning, or I am human, or I am doing my best with what I know today. Feel how these words land in your body. They may feel strange at first, like wearing a new piece of clothing, but if they are spoken with sincerity, your heart will recognize them as food. The old voice may say, you are lying. When that happens, smile gently to yourself and return to the breath. The breath helps you not to be swept away by the critic. Each time harsh words arise, you have a choice. You can be pulled into them and let them define you, or you can step back, take one conscious breath, and see them for what they are. Sounds in the mind, formed by old fear. Breathing in, I see this critical thought. Breathing out, I am not this thought. In this way, you learn to embrace the inner critic without letting it rule you. In time, as you listen with understanding, the critic may slowly change its tone. It may become less loud, less sharp, or perhaps it stays, but you are no longer afraid of it. You know how to hold it with your breath, the way a mother holds a restless child. This is a very deep form of self-love. Not trying to erase parts of yourself, but learning to be present with them, patiently, kindly, again and again. Now let us look at another gentle doorway to loving yourself, the small things you do every day. Often, when people think of self-love, they imagine big actions, big changes, big decisions. But a lot of your life is made of very simple acts. Walking from one room to another, drinking a glass of water, washing your hands, eating a meal. These moments may seem unimportant, but they carry a quiet power. Imagine for a moment that you are simply standing up and walking across the room. Normally, this might happen with your mind far away, thinking of tasks and worries. What happens if you allow your attention to come back to the simple feeling of your feet touching the ground? You can walk a little slower. You can feel the support of the floor under each step. With each movement, you can say inside, I arrive. Each step becomes a small act of love. When you walk in this way, you are telling your body, I care about you. I want to feel you. You are not pushing it to rush ahead, not dragging it behind your thoughts. You are moving together with it. Your foot touches the earth, and you realize that the earth is also touching your foot. There is a contact, a relationship. You are not floating in your mind. You are here, on this ground, in this body, in this moment. This is self-love in action. Think also about eating. So often we eat in a hurry. We eat while looking at a screen, while thinking of something else, while worrying. We may not taste our food. We may not even remember what we ate. What would it be like to take just a few bites in true presence, to look at the food, to notice its colors and shapes, to remember that it came from the earth, from rain, from sun, from the work of many people? When you bring a piece of food to your mouth, you can say silently, "This is a gift of life." When you chew slowly, you can feel the texture, the flavor, the way your jaw moves, the way the tongue and teeth work together. You may realize that this simple act of eating is a chance to nourish not only the body, but also the heart. You are telling yourself, you are worth taking time for, you are worth caring for in a gentle way. Even washing your hands or your face can become a small ritual of love. When the water touches your skin, you can feel its temperature, its softness. Instead of rushing, you can let your mind rest in the feeling of the water flowing over your fingers, your cheeks, your forehead. You can breathe and think, "I am here taking care of this body that has carried me through so much." In that moment, you are not outside of your life. You are inside it. Rest is also an important expression of love. Many people feel guilty when they rest. They think they must always do more, achieve more, prove more. But a tired body and a tired mind cannot see clearly. When you allow yourself to lie down, to sit quietly, to close your eyes for a few minutes without needing to be productive, you are giving yourself a very precious gift. You are saying, you do not have to earn your right to stop. You are allowed to simply be. You might choose one or two of these everyday actions to become your regular practice. Walking, eating, washing, resting. You do not need to change your whole day. Start small. Perhaps each morning you decide to drink your first sip of water with full presence. Or each time you walk through a door, you take one conscious breath. Over time, these simple moments build a new habit, the habit of meeting yourself with kindness. As you practice loving yourself through these small actions, you may notice that the way you speak to yourself begins to change a little. Your inner voice becomes softer, less impatient. This is not because you forced it, but because you are now living in a way that sends a new message to your heart. You are worth slowing down for. You are worth being present with. The body feels this message, and the mind slowly learns to trust it. There is another important part of loving yourself that grows from this, the way you speak and listen. We often think of loving speech and deep listening as things we offer to others, and this is true. When we speak with kindness, we help others feel safe. When we listen deeply, we help others suffer less. But these same qualities are needed inside, in the way we relate to our own thoughts, feelings, and stories. Take a moment now, as you breathe, to listen inward. If you could hear the tone of your own self-talk, what does it sound like? Is it sharp or gentle? Is it hurried or patient? Does it leave you more relaxed or more tense? You do not need to judge yourself for the answer. Simply notice. This noticing is already a form of deep listening. You are paying attention to your inner climate. Imagine that inside you there is someone who has been waiting to be heard. It might be a younger version of you, or simply the current you who feels overwhelmed and alone. This inner one does not need advice right away. They do not need you to fix everything in one moment. They need you to listen with an open heart. You can ask quietly inside, "My dear, what are you feeling right now? What do you most need me to know?" As you breathe in, listen. As you breathe out, keep listening. Thoughts and feelings may arise. I am scared. I feel lonely. I am tired of pretending. I want to be accepted as I am. Do not correct these feelings. Do not tell them they are wrong. Just let them speak. Your breath gives you stability, like a tree whose roots go deep into the soil. The wind can blow, but the tree does not fall. In the same way, your breath allows you to hear difficult truths without being swept away. When you have listened, you can answer with loving speech. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend. You can say inside, "I see you. I know you are trying. I know you are hurting." These simple words can reach very deep when they are sincere. You might even place your hand on your heart again as you say them to let the body feel the kindness as well as the mind. If it feels right, you can continue. Thank you for telling me how you feel. I am here with you. I will do my best not to abandon you. You do not promise to never make mistakes. You simply promise to stay. This is what deep listening and loving speech look like when turned inward, a steady, honest, kind relationship with yourself. Over time, this inner dialogue will change the way you speak to others as well. When you have learned to listen to your own fear without pushing it away, you can more easily listen to the fear of another person. When you have learned to speak gently to yourself after a mistake, you can more easily speak gently to someone else when they make a mistake. But even if no one else changes, the way you relate to yourself is already a great gift to the world. As you sit here now, breathing, listening, perhaps speaking softly inside, notice how this moment feels. You are not trying to become someone else. You are not forcing yourself to be positive. You are simply being with what is true in a kind way. This is the heart of loving yourself. To stay present with your own experience, without harshness, without hurry, with a voice that says, I am here, and I will not turn away. As you continue to breathe and listen inwardly, you may begin to sense something very quiet beneath all the thoughts, fears, and stories. It is a subtle knowing that you are part of something larger than yourself, something woven gently through every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of being alive. This is not an idea you need to force or understand with the mind. It simply reveals itself softly, like dawn light gradually entering a dark room. You may notice it when you breathe in and feel the cool air entering your nose. That cool air was the warmth of sunlight on a leaf only yesterday. Before that, it was rain falling from a cloud. Before that, it was ocean mist rising into the sky. And now it becomes part of your body, feeding your cells, giving you life. You are breathing the world, and the world is breathing you. This is what it means to interbe. If you rest your awareness in your body for a moment, you may sense the presence of many things that do not belong only to you. There are your ancestors, whose faces and hopes and struggles live in your bones and your blood. There is the food you have eaten, which came from soil, from rivers, from wind, from the labor of many hands. There is the warmth in you, the chest, which comes from the fire of the sun stored in plants and grains. You are not an isolated existence. You are the meeting place of countless conditions. As you breathe out, imagine your exhale moving gently into the world around you. It becomes part of the trees, part of the wind, part of the breath of other beings. In this way, your presence touches life far beyond what you can see. Even a single peaceful breath has an effect. When you breathe calmly, you offer calmness to the air around you, to the people nearby, to the quiet field of presence that connects all of us. If you like, you can say inside, breathing in, I touch the world within me. Breathing out, I touch the world around me. There is no separation here. The boundaries you believe exist are soft. Your suffering is connected to the suffering of others. Your joy is connected to their joy. When you learn to take care of yourself, you are taking care of countless beings, because you no longer bring harshness, confusion, and fear into the shared space of life. Let yourself rest in this understanding, not as an idea, but as a feeling. You belong to this world, and this world belongs to you. When you love yourself, even in small, quiet ways, you are honoring something much larger. You are honoring the whole web of life that allowed you to be here. You are not alone, and you never have been. Each breath you take is a reminder of this truth. Sometimes, even with this understanding, difficult emotions will rise again. Anxiety may return, anger may burst forth, Sadness may wash over you like a heavy rain. When this happens, please do not think you have failed. Emotions are like weather. They come, they stay for a time, and then they go. You cannot stop the sky from changing, but you can choose how you meet each storm. Take a moment now to bring to mind a difficult emotion you have felt recently. It might be fear, frustration, disappointment, or a deep sadness you carry. Notice where this emotion shows itself in the body, perhaps in the chest, tight and warm, perhaps in the stomach, heavy like a stone, perhaps in the throat, closing as if holding back words or tears. Let your awareness rest softly in that place. Breathing in, say inside, I recognize you, my emotion. Breathing out, I hold you tenderly. This is not a technique to get rid of the emotion. It is a way of welcoming it, the way a mother welcomes her crying child. The moment you stop fighting the emotion, it begins to calm. It does not need to disappear. It only needs to be held with care. Your breath is like a soft blanket you place around the feeling. It says, I am here with you. You do not need to be alone. As you keep breathing, the emotion may change. It may grow smaller, or it may move to another part of the body. It may even release itself in a wave of warmth or a few tears. Let it move naturally, in its own time. The breath is your companion. It stays steady even when the emotion moves like a storm. Remember, you are not your anger. You are the one who breathes with it. You are not your fear. You are the one who can hold fear with gentleness. In this way, mindfulness gives you a place to stand, even when the mind is full of waves. You become like a mountain, still, grounded, while the emotions are like clouds passing overhead. They can come and go, but you remain rooted in your breath, in your body, in the present moment. This capacity to hold emotions with care is one of the deepest forms of self-love. When you practice it, you are teaching yourself that nothing inside you is too much. Nothing inside you needs to be rejected. Everything can be met with breathing, with awareness, with tenderness. This is how you build trust within yourself. This is how you learn you are strong enough to feel what you feel without fear. As you grow in this understanding, you may find it helpful to create small rituals in your daily life that help you return to yourself with kindness. These rituals need not be long or complicated. They can be as simple as taking a conscious breath before you begin your day. When you wake up, before you reach for your phone or think of your tasks, place one hand on your heart and breathe slowly. Say inside, this is a new moment. I am grateful to be alive. Throughout the day, you can pause for one deep exhale whenever you open a door, sit down at your desk, or change from one activity to another.